Welcome back to the Tools and Channels stage. And we are now into the second session. I hope you have enjoyed the previous session with Valentin about email marketing using RFM segmentation. If you have just joined us, please introduce yourself in the comment section and let us know where you're from, how you're enjoying the conference so far. We'd like to hear from you. And to our second guest today, we have a very passionate entrepreneur with us today. He's a Stefan Chiriacescu. I think I got that right. He's
Yep.
he's a very passionate entrepreneur. He owns e-commerce today agency, a thriving e-commerce agency in Europe, and sophiastyle.com, an established e-commerce business in the USA. His experience as both a business owner and service provider offers him a relatable understanding of the needs and challenges faced by businesses in the industry. He's going to talk to us today about email automation, getting a huge competitive advantage quickly. And before I bring him on, I want to highlight to you, please interact in the comment section because our knowledge partners today, Pact and Manning, will be awarding the most active attendees who rate the sessions and leave comments with free ebooks. And without further ado, let's welcome Stefan to the stage. Woohoo!
Thank you so much, Clarice, for the introduction. Hello, everyone. It's great to be here. I'm going to discuss with you today about email marketing automation, something that a lot of people tend to know about. But what we've noticed over the last couple of years is that hundreds of businesses out there, including big brand names, are not doing it correctly. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do and what you can implement within a couple of days, maximum 1 or 2 weeks, so that you have what it takes to have this advantage over your competition. And I'm going to go through them step by step to give you like the clear guidance. Okay, about myself, why am I speaking to you today? I started my e-commerce career back in 2010 when I was still in college. I started an e-commerce business. I learned e-commerce the hard way. I sold that in 2014, and then I moved into sharing my knowledge with other e-commerce businesses as a consultant or by doing managed services. By 2018, we already had serviced 100 lifetime clients. By 2021, we had serviced 200. By the end of last year, we had serviced over 300. Last year, I also went back to the original passion, which was being an e-commerce business owner. So today I am in both positions and I can talk to you from a services perspective as an agency owner, but also from a business perspective as a business owner. Okay, so why do I choose email marketing automation? I choose email marketing automation because, again, as I was saying in the beginning, a lot of companies out there are not giving this the right kind of attention. Just to give you our perspective, last year, we generated for our clients $9.8 million in revenue from emails, from email marketing. Out of this 9.8 million, 7.3 was email automation. In the previous year, in 2021, we had 7.8 million and 5.9 out of that was email marketing automation. If done correctly, it can not only double your email marketing revenue, but in most cases, it can triple or even quadruple it. So it is very, very important to set it up, and it's not hard at all. People just get lost within the details, and I'm going to go through the details today with you. Again, why is email marketing automation so important? And again, this is going to be us talking about our numbers, but if you just do a simple browse online and you look at what are the most popular ones, Google Ads, for example, you're going to see that the average return on investment for Google Ads is between 3-to-1 to even 10-to-1, depending on how competitive the vertical is, what your location is, what your geolocation is. On Facebook advertising, you're going to have pretty similar ROIs to what you're getting on Google if your market is in a specific vertical, because lots of verticals aren't even going to work properly on Meta, Facebook, slash, or Instagram. The average ROI for email marketing is online around 30 to 44 to 1, which is all of a sudden, by start from the very beginning, much higher than what you're getting from digital advertising. If we are to compare the numbers that we got for from our clients last year, we actually did the numbers, and out of the in order for us to get $9.8 million in revenue for our clients, we found out how much our clients paid for the email marketing service providers for the services that they were using, and how much they paid for our services for building the emails and the strategy and the optimization and everything else. And their ROI was 68 to 1, which is again much higher than you would normally get from digital advertising channels. Because of this great ROI, it is crucial from our point of view for every single business out there to have email marketing automation set up correctly. And before we go into the actual flows that we are going to recommend for you to build as the fundamental flows, I want to make sure that we are on the same page when we are talking about email marketing basics. So just a bit of theory right now. Email marketing is made up of transactional emails. These are going to be your new customer account, forgot password, new order confirmation email, new shipment email, forgot password, and so on. You're going to have your email marketing automation side of things, so your automated emails. These are going to be your welcome flows, your abandonment flows, your new customer journey flows, your maintenance flows, emails that trigger automatically based on visitor or customer actions, and that have a commercial aspect to them. And of course, you have newsletters or campaigns, emails that you send out on Black Friday, new arrivals, new blog posts, etc., whenever you do bulk email sends. Email marketing is also very tightly connected with SMS or text message marketing, but we're going to talk about that a bit later on. So, what are the basics here? The email marketing basics. Number one, you have to be sure that you are using the right email marketing service. If you're an e-commerce business and you're using an email marketing service provider that is more of a CRM than an e-commerce service provider, you're not going to be able to build the correct automation flows. The correct email marketing service will allow you to track your customer and your visitor activity on your website at all times, and it will give you the freedom to react based on those triggers. Viewed product, active on page, added to cart, started checkout. These are triggers that you placed order, of course. These are triggers that you need to be able to respond upon. So keep that in mind, choosing the right email marketing service provider. Number two, oftentimes forgotten about, 99% of the companies we ever worked with had not done this. Setting up domain authentication. It's important when you are using an email marketing service provider to understand that most of the times you're going to be using their public sending pools, which are IPs that are tied to a vast majority of accounts, to send your emails. So your emails are going to go out from, for example, info@ecommercetoday.com via, and then you have some text in there which dictates the email marketing service provider, the public sending pool. The problem with that is if the other accounts that are using that sending pool are not playing by the rules and they're spamming and they have a bad reputation, that is going to affect you. So even if today you have 60, 70, 80% open rates, 5, 10% click-through rates, it doesn't mean that the same can happen tomorrow because of this uncertainty. If a lot of accounts on that IP are going to start to spam people, you're going to be affected even though you're not doing anything differently today and you are not spamming people. So set up your domain authentication. Be 100% sure that you have the right settings and that you're taking ownership and responsibility of the emails that you're sending out. It's typically very easy to do. You have to add some CNAME records. It depends from service provider to service provider, but just look it up and do it. Number 3, cleaning up and maintaining the subscribers list. If you're just thinking about restarting email marketing efforts, or if you're migrating from one system to another, or if you just haven't done this in a very long time, it's it's necessary for you to do this in the very beginning. Clean up your list, warm up. Once you authenticate your domain, warm it up, which means send emails only to highly engaged subscribers, and do a ramp up as well when you want to bring over the bulk of your subscribers into your email activity. Which means split your entire subscribers base into 10 to 14 segments for day one. In day one, you're going to send an email to 30 people, which you haven't emailed in a long time. 5 Gmail addresses, 5 Yahoo addresses, 5 Hotmail addresses, and so on until you get to 30 email addresses. In day two, you're going to do 50. In day three, you're going to do 75, then 150, then 300, then 5, then 1,000, and so on until you are able to send one message, one email to everybody in this ramp up process. It typically takes 10 to 14 days to get the message across, slowly introducing yourself as a safe, respectable sender to the inbox providers of the world. Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, Verizon, GMX, and so on and so forth. Once you've cleaned it up, be sure to maintain it. And we are going to go into maintenance flows a bit later on in our conversation. Number 4, set up email marketing automation. Crucial and critical. Transactional emails are super because they're going to be your most opened emails. So if you're able to optimize your transactional emails a bit so that you can actually get clicks from them as well by reach out to our contact here, reply back to this email if you have any questions, and so on, that's great. But most of the times you want to keep transactional emails focused on the transaction that they are doing so that you don't add additional work to your customer support team. So automated emails are going to take on a very important role, which is to improve your reputation. Email marketing automation emails are going to have very high open rates, very high click-through rates, because they are event triggered and they are personalized. So it's important to set up email marketing automation, not just for the automation component, but for your own sender reputation. So for the effectiveness of your newsletters as well. Think about Black Friday when your reputation is stellar and your emails land in inboxes versus your competitors' emails, which land in spam folders or in promo folders, promo boxes in Gmail, and so on. Last but not least, set up a marketing plan so that your efforts are complementing the overall marketing strategy. You cannot get the best results if you're sending out an email, you're mentioning a promotion in that email, but that's the only place where your subscribers are going to see that promotion, unless it's a very specific event, a very specific case, when it's an insider deal, for example. So if you're doing this, but you're also posting about that specific campaign on Meta and on Instagram or TikTok, if you're adding banners and notices on your website, it's going to make your emails more efficient because it's going to remind the visitor, the customer, the subscriber about that specific campaign that you are doing at that moment in time. Last but not least, on the basics, think about the big picture, but don't stray at this moment in time. So when you think about email marketing, think about how you're going to be able to embed SMS and text message marketing into it. Think about how the promotions that are ongoing with email marketing automation are pushed over to digital advertising so that they also know about these promotions and promote them. Think about social posting when you're creating a campaign. Make sure that you turn that campaign into a post and you send it over to your social posting team so that they do post about those marketing campaigns. Think about store management. Are you running in-store events, for example? Are you running pop-up shops? Your store clerks and your store managers should know about email marketing, and they should know that within email marketing you can do geolocated email sends that brings foot traffic over to your retail, to your physical stores. You can create RSVP events for in-store events and so on and so forth. And of course local business advertising, which kind of falls into this when you are just able to use emails to bring again activity and traffic over to your stores, and you're using your stores to increase the number of subscribers in your business by having, for example, a tablet on the cash register and saying, here's a freebie, would you like to subscribe to our newsletter, for example. Okay, preparing for the journey. So in order for you to be able to build something solid, to build a foundation that you can then further on build on top of, you have to ask yourself a couple of questions. Number one, what are our current efforts in this direction? So what are we currently doing with email marketing? Are we sending any newsletters? If yes, what is the frequency? What is the open rate? Is that a healthy open rate and a click-through rate? Are we sending any automated emails? If yes, what are they? What are the triggers? What are the emails that are going out, and what are the actions that we want, the targets that we want to achieve with those specific flows? What is the status of our list of subscribers? And this is an interesting one, because if you've never done cleanup or maintenance on your list, you are going to be shocked with what you will find out. Just to give you a very simple example, last year we started working with a client. They had around 240,000 subscribers in their email list, and we did the cleanup. We had a look. We looked at running it through a couple of services so that we can actually clean up older emails that were no longer active and they weren't bouncing on their previous service provider. But putting that aside, we just looked at the numbers, at the engagement that the client was getting. And we came back to the client and we said, out of these 240,000 subscribers, only 60,000 are subscribers that are worth keeping. And out of these 60,000 subscribers, only 20, it was close to 30,000, let's say 30,000 subscribers are active, engaged subscribers that are really opening your emails. We have to get rid of 150,000 subscribers. The client was, of course, oh my God, no, that number sounds so much smaller than 240,000 subscribers. But in the end, we made it clear that we're here to help grow sales. So by doing this, we are taking a risk, but we believe it's the right thing to do. Needless to say, in the beginning, of course, there's not a big difference because the reputation doesn't increase all of a sudden. But because we were sending emails only to engaged subscribers, the open rates increased tremendously from what they previously had. I don't remember. They jumped to levels like 60, 70%. They had good click-through rates. And because of this, their reputation went up, which means more emails were landing in the inboxes. And then we were able to trickle back some of the other subscribers from the 60,000 that weren't so active. And the number of active subscribers actually reached around 50,000 after just 2 months. The revenue they were getting from email marketing automation tripled after 2 months. And the client, needless to say, was very happy. So what is the status of your list of subscribers? Have a look at it. If there's people in there that have received 5 or more, just throwing some numbers out there, 5 or more emails in the last 3 months and have not opened any of them, don't email them anymore. Put them in an unengaged list, exclude them from your future campaigns. Focus on the people who are opening your emails, focus on the people who actually have give you benefit. Okay, another important question is, how do we integrate email marketing into our marketing planner, parenthesis, and do we have one? We've worked with medium to large sized companies that didn't have marketing planners built. Everything was, free balling. We are working with corporate accounts that did not have global marketing planners. There was an email marketing planner, a digital advertising planner, a branding planner, an events planner, a video posting planner, and so on and so forth. But the teams did not know. They knew about each other, but they weren't working together to have a cohesive strategy. Especially for small and medium businesses, you need to have one big marketing planner. It can be a Google Sheet with columns and responsibilities for everyone. Email marketing does this, social posting does that, store events and purchasing manager has those columns, and everybody collaborates, meets up once, twice, 3 times a week to discuss their needs. The sales manager wants more sales, so he's going to propose sale events. The purchasing manager has too much stock of something, so they're going to be like, hey, I want to get rid of this product. The marketing managers are going, the marketing people are going to propose campaigns, and they're going to split those campaigns across all your channels. So have a marketing planner and be sure that you are integrating every single effort that you're making in that marketing planner. And with an asterisk here, run a usability audit of your website. Just go third party. You are going to be too close to see the usability issues. Your team is going to be too close to see the usability issues. Just reach out. Agencies, we as well, agencies typically do free usability audits just so that they can find and learn more about the client. Get the usability audit, because if your website has fundamental problems, usability problems, if your website is not responsive on mobile properly and your add to cart button is just showing up slightly to the right and people have to scroll the page, this is a real story that we've met. Whatever it is you're going to do on email marketing and digital advertising and everything else is going to be very, very difficult, much more difficult. So be sure that your website doesn't have any critical usability problems. And the best time to find them is right now, before you do anything else. Okay, we kind of spoke about basics. We kind of spoke about the foundation. We spoke about why are we doing this. So now let's go into what we call in our agency the fundamental email marketing automation flows. Again, these are flows that we build for small mom and pop stores, and these are flows that we build for large corporate accounts. These are the first flows that we build for anyone and everyone before we start to go into maintenance and optimization, growing these flows, splitting them, A/B split tests here, building affinities, and so on and so forth. But this is the starting point, and this is what I believe you all need to have as well. So why is it called the flow? It's called the flow because there's a drive to it, a liquidity to it. So there's a trigger, and there are specific actions and delays that generate within that flow. For example, the new subscriber flow, the trigger is someone subscribes to your newsletter, also called welcome flow. So they get an email. The purpose of that email, we're going to go into it very, very soon. Then there's a delay. If a specific action doesn't happen, there's another email. If a specific action doesn't happen, there's another delay and another email, and so on and so forth. So it's called a flow. I'll just add this here, the checklist. So make sure you have the correct service in order to be able to build those flows. Make sure you have the technical setup done correctly from the very beginning, the domain authentication most especially, and UTM tracking as well. And make sure you have coordinated your marketing effort between all channels, because if you're going to propose incentives on email automation and your digital advertising team doesn't know about them, it's money on the table. So tell them about it. Okay, we're ready to build. I was talking earlier about the new subscriber flow, oftentimes called the welcome flow. The purpose or the target of the new subscriber flow is to capture email addresses and to convert newsletter subscribers into new customers. The first component of a new subscriber flow or a welcome flow is the actual way in which you capture email addresses. Most of the times that's going to be a pop-up and a section on the website. Just be sure that you have found all the ways in which someone can actually subscribe to your newsletter. Oftentimes people just build the pop-ups and they forget about the form in the footer of the website, and they don't add the promotion there, or that's not connected to the email marketing service provider. So make sure that you find out all the ways in which someone can subscribe to your newsletter. For pop-ups, you want to build two pop-ups. Um, you want to build one for desktop users and one for mobile users. Yes, with most services, you can build a pop-up that looks in one way on desktop and another way on mobile. But with most users, you cannot A/B split test desktop pop-ups and A/B split test mobile pop-ups in the same pop-up. So you have to get them separated. That's why we typically just do it from the very beginning. We build two pop-ups, um, one for desktop and one for mobile, so that later we can A/B split test on desktop and A/B split test separately on mobile. Um, when you build pop-ups, you have to take into account several aspects. Number one, they have to have a delay, like minimum 5 seconds, so that you don't have problems with the Google Page Experience score. Number one. Number two, you absolutely have to have an incentive. You have to trade something in exchange for that email address, and in exchange for, even more importantly, um, getting in front of your visitors' shopping experience. You have to give them something in return, and it has to be a good incentive. Um, just think about it this way. You put up the incentive, you look at the results, you look at the profitability. You can always adapt along the way, but it is important to have a good incentive. So you capture the email address. What happens next? Next, an email goes out. You always want to communicate the coupon code or the incentive via email. So you have immediate delivery. Parenthesis here, double opt-in is something we strongly recommend. It's not only going to keep you, you know, up to GDPR and CCPA and Australian privacy law standards and best practices, but it's also going to protect you physically from spam bots that go to your website. Just enter email addresses in a specific form that they find, which then affect your reputation because the emails are bouncing. So try to use double opt-in on your business. Okay, email one goes out, immediate delivery. You want to make it very big over there. Here's your incentive. Here's your coupon code. Thank you for signing up. Here's our most popular products, our most popular categories. Ideally, you populate those dynamically with the email marketing service provider. So think about this when you choose the provider. Is it able to take on feeds of products from my store? Email number two goes out 1 or 2 days later. It typically depends. Most of the times we just do 1 day later, but it's something for you to A/B split test down the line. It's a reminder for an incentive. Most of the times we also add a personal message from the founder or founders, or we add a mix of testimonials. What are we trying to accomplish with this? We are trying to build up our subscribers' confidence. They haven't placed an order with us. They don't know who we are. We have to show them who's behind the company, and or that there are other clients of ours that have left testimonials about the business, about the website. Email 3 goes out 2 or 3 days later. Again, it's an incentive reminder, but this time it's a last chance. And we push on the testimonial side of things. We push on social media community. We show the subscriber that there's a community behind the brand. And we just try to build up the confidence. If we have global promotions on our website or global marketing efforts, promotional efforts like free shipping over 50, free shipping over 99, easy returns, live chat on the site, make sure you push these out to your customer, even if it means that you're going to get a couple of calls on customer support, on more chats on customer support. Try to push this. We are a business with a team. We have inventory. We have stock. You're going to hear me talk a lot about this because during COVID, there has been a huge number of new businesses that appeared overnight, just drop shipping inventory from somewhere. And these were businesses that kind of, from what we could read in case studies, scared the consumers, because most of the times there was no customer support, there was no inventory, there were delays in shipping, so a very poor customer experience. If you have a new brand, if you don't have like one of those global brands that don't need an introduction, it's best if you try to present yourself as a business that has a warehouse, physical stores. If you have them, show pictures of those physical stores, a team, and inventory. Highlight that. It is going to help you, especially in the welcome flow, or the new subscriber flow, how we call it. Then we are going to go into the abandonment flows. Most companies out there are going to have just one flow for abandonment built, which is typically the cart abandonment flow. What I can tell you is that for most of the email marketing service providers out there, this is mislabeled because it's not really a cart abandonment flow. Most of the times it's a checkout abandonment flow. When we build abandonment flows, we build 4 different types of flows, which we consider to be, again, fundamental. We build a site abandonment flow, a browse abandonment flow, a cart abandonment flow, and finally the checkout abandonment flow. With these flows, you're going to see that you are going to be able to, most of the times, to double or even triple the number of emails that you send out for abandonment, for specific abandonment triggers. And let's talk about the differences between them. Site abandonment occurs when a visitor is on your website. They look at any page, homepage, collection pages, static pages, blog posts, etc., but they do not look at a product page. So what is our target with this email, with this flow? Our target is to put our best-selling products in front of the potential customer, in front of the visitor. So we typically send out email number 1 within 2 to 4 hours after the abandonment action has occurred, and we highlight popular products and we do social proofing, testimonials from clients. If possible, if we have a low number of products in our catalog, we do products and reviews for those specific products. So bring the customer back, but it's product centric. If nothing happens, so if the customer doesn't come back over to the website, email number 2 gets sent out 1 or 2 days later, and it presents popular categories of products. And again, we try to do social proofing, testimonials. Here's our physical stores. Reach out to us on customer support or our concierge if you need help. We are here for you. I didn't say this on the new subscriber flow, but clearly, if an order is placed after email 1, emails 2 and 3 no longer go out. There have to be filters here. If order placed after email 2, email 3 doesn't go out anymore. Moving forward, the browse abandonment flow. The browse abandonment is an action that happens when the visitor abandons a product page. So the visitor was on the website, they were active, and they looked at a product and then they abandoned their browsing session. What is our target? Our target with this flow is to remind the user about the product they viewed, and again, to show them that you have customers that placed order with your store, that were happy with your store, and of course, show them additional products that may be of interest, like popular products that other people are buying at this moment in time. In some cases, you're going to be able to actually build dynamic feeds with various apps, as long as your email marketing service provider works with that. So email number 1 goes out 2 to 4 hours after the browsing abandonment event happened. And we present popular products. We show the latest product reviews, would be good as well. Email number 2, 1 to 2 days later, again, we're showing the product that was abandoned. This time we are showcasing popular products or popular categories, and we're trying to build that confidence up, testimonials, reviews, social proofing. Um, I have a couple of questions here. I'm just going to go through them very quickly. Question from Liana. Normally, the automated email newsletters fall into the promo folder on Gmail. Are there any hacks to make those emails fall into the main folder? Hacks? No. I don't think it's possible to hack Google. Actually, anything is possible, but there's no such thing as hacks in email marketing. I can tell you 100% for sure that you are going to land in the main folder in the inbox in Google as long as you follow the steps that I mentioned in the beginning. Number one, domain authentication. Number two, clean up your subscribers list and slowly go and introduce yourself as an email sender to Gmail. In our case, because this is the problem, the ramp up I was talking about. Build 14 segments. Day one, you send an email to 10 Gmail addresses. Day two, you send an email, to, 5. Day two to 10. Day three to 15. Day three to 30. And so on and so forth until you send, 20,000 emails in one day to your Gmail, and then only send emails for a period of time to users that are engaged. Do this, your reputation will go up, and I am 100% sure, I guarantee it, you are going to land in the inbox in Gmail versus all your competitors who are not all of them, some of them work with us. Um, but most of your competitors who are going to land in promo folders. I have another question. How do you get the email address from customers who fall into site abandonment and browse abandonment flow if they haven't made any checkout history? So that's a very good question, and we actually get this question from clients typically. It's all about the welcome flow. So if you haven't captured the email address in a pop-up, if you haven't captured the email address in the footer section of the website, or I don't know, when you're at trade shows, you can have a landing page that you trade swag for subscribers. If you haven't captured their email address and they haven't given you consent to send them marketing emails, you are not going to be able to send them any sort of emails. Not alone, not site abandonment, browse abandonment. And this part with the checkout, even if a customer has gone through checkout, a visitor has gone through checkout and they are now a customer, if they haven't checked that box saying, send me marketing materials or newsletters, you're still not going to be able to send them site abandonment or browse abandonment emails. So checkout doesn't guarantee, it's not going to guarantee you have a good email marketing senders list. What does guarantee that is a good welcome flow with good pop-ups, a good incentive, 5 seconds as soon as they land on your website. And the third question, then I'm going to go back into the flows. What is the limit of different links in email in order not to be triggered spam filters? There are multiple services out there. You can just Google, what was that, like email campaign spam checker or something like that, and you can just find various engines online that are going to give you, subject line recommendations, body of the email recommendations. There's typically not a limit of links. You have to be under, if my memory serves me right, 120 kilobytes in code size for that email in order for the email not to be clipped in Gmail. But in order for you not to trigger spam filters, try to avoid using caps or highly promotional words like sale, hot, limited, now, exclamation marks, and so on in subject lines. And for the body of the emails, it's the golden rule is the more physical selectable text you have and the fewer graphics or images you have, the better. And in regards to images, the best practice is to keep those images at maximum 600 pixels in width, as that will be plenty sufficient for most devices, emails, browsers, etc. out there. The only time when you want to go over 600 pixels in width and have like bigger images is when you want to take a close-up of a fabric, for example, and it's really important. You can go 900 or 1200 pixels. And last but not least, because I got to get back to the flows, new to email marketing, trying to incorporate it as my clients have a lot of leads and I feel I'm missing an opportunity for them. How do you make emails look so nice and have a long, engaging email? Is there a website you would recommend, or does Canva do it? Uh, Sorry about this. Is mostly experience. You have templates in Canva, to my knowledge. There's mail charts as well. It's a very good service that's like an encyclopedia of brands and emails that you can use. Okay, going out of the question mode and going back into the flows. The fourth flow, the cart abandonment flow. The trigger for this flow is to uh, for a customer to add products to their shopping cart, but not reach checkout. So they haven't gone, they've added something to their cart, they haven't clicked on checkout. They haven't seen the checkout page first. So what is the deal with these customers? There's one of two reasons, most of the times, that are going to be the reason for their abandonment. Reason number one is they are still shopping. They just haven't finished. You caught them in a bad time. They added something to their cart, but they want to add additional products in there. Not right now, maybe tomorrow. Reason number two is they're shopping elsewhere. So they're going to Amazon, to whatever, eBay, etc. And they want to Walmart, and they want to search for your products there. So you want to find out which one of these two reasons is the primary one for your customer base. So email number one, delivery 2 to 3 hours after the abandonment action has happened. Show them the products they abandoned, show them popular products, and give them social proofing, access to your support and concierge. We're on live chat. Call us here, email us here. Any help, we're here to help you. With the popular products, you are going to allow the potential customer to actually add additional products to their shopping carts, like tickle that itch for windows for shopping additional products. If checkout hasn't happened, email number two goes out, very careful, 22 to 23 hours after the abandonment event started. You don't want to do plus 1 day. Most companies, most businesses, most people do 1 day later. That's wrong. If you caught that person at the wrong time and they abandoned their shopping because they were on their lunch break, it was finishing, and you're sending them an email tomorrow when they're on their lunch break and it's finishing again, is the wrong time. Send it 22 to 23 hours before the checkout abandonment event happened. And again, focus on popular products, focus on social proofing and access to support and concierge. Email number three, I see a typo there. Send that over with another 1 or 2 days delay after email number two. So again, we are going to stay within the same sending habit of not sending exactly 1 day later or 2 days later or 3 days later after the event has happened, but 1 or 2 hours before the event happened, a couple days later. And just push more products and talk about social proofing, lift the confidence of the subscriber. And last but not least, in the abandonment flows is the checkout abandonment, which is typically going to be your biggest revenue maker. But I can tell you that for our clients, site abandonment plus browse abandonment plus cart abandonment equal or show greater revenue, but in total, all of them equal or show greater revenue than the abandonment flow. Email number one, of course, we're going to show what people have abandoned in their shopping cart, and we are going to present popular products. We're going to do social proofing. Email number two, again, same habit as with the cart, 23 to 23 hours after the event happened. This is where at least once per customer lifetime, we want to incentivize them to complete checkout. So incentivize once per customer lifetime. Give them an incentive like free shipping, a discount, anything to see them, to make sure that they become a customer of yours at least once, if not the second time. Email number three, again, 1 or 2 days delays. Just put pressure on urgency, stock scarcity. Your physical store, customer support and concierge, just try to fit all of these selling points into these emails, into email 2 and email 3, because later on, once you've built everything and you want to do A/B split testing, you're going to build one version of that email with only customer support and concierge, another version with only like images of your physical stores, another one with only testimonials about your business, another one only with reviews from your customers. So you're going to find out what works for your customer base. This kind of wraps up the abandonment flows. The final one is the new customer flow. I'll just say it very, very quickly. The target of the new customer flow is, number one, to thank the customer for placing their order, to answer frequently asked questions by customers in general. This is feedback you get from your customer support team. This will help you save time from the customer support team side of things, so save money. But the most important purpose of the new customer flow is to generate a second purchase. So 20 days later, after the order has been placed, send 2 or 3 emails with which you try to incentivize a second purchase. Whatever you are going to use as an incentive, it's going to be less than what it would cost you to pay Google ads or Facebook ads for that specific second purchase. That's been pretty much it. Thank you so much, guys. These are the flows that I want you to build.
Thank you very much, Stefan, for your wonderful presentation. Sorry, we're running out of time, but I'm glad we managed to address some of the questions our audience have. And yes, so for all of you out there, stay with us. We have our next session coming right up from Gelly about generating highly targeted B2B leads during times of budget cuts. So stay tuned for that. And thank you very much for being with us today, Stefan. And yes,
you're welcome.
Have a good day. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
This is all we got. Remember the revolution in our minds. This is all we got.
Lock me out of this life institution. I am angry and high on illusions. Yes, I hate, but it's not a solution. Try my best, buddy, I'm just a human. Oh, we don't need to say we're sorry. We